Hey guys, welcome back. It's Victoria here, and today we're going to talk about the outside day and the parabolic setup. Now, the outside day, I'm going to show you some examples here, and I'm so glad this happened with gold and with silver. Two Obviously, these two always seem to follow one another, right? Just like the three sisters, right? The indices, the Dow, NQ, and ES, right? Now we have the metals that often mimic one another. However, there was very, very slight variations here that I want to point out, and specifically the outside day. So the outside day is simply when the market is reset and price hits both sides of the range on the same day. That is usually your outside day. You'll see that all the time. Sometimes it will look like an EKG monitor, right? Look just like that. Okay. So let me just show you real quick, right? Obviously, we have one right here with gold. We can see clearly that it has broken both sides of the range. We can see the previous day level here and the previous day low here. And obviously, what's really interesting is that it did close and breakout. And today we had where the breakout failed on day 3 on Friday, right? So obviously, this is Tuesday. We can just really quickly look at this before I move on to show you the other examples of this. We can see on Monday, obviously this was a holiday, but even though it was a holiday, it still broke this level. So I counted that, right? And if we even go further back to Friday, we were already in breakout short anyway. So we had a low, we had a lower low, and then another lower low, and then we had the equal low. So this kind of just reset it real quick. And then we had 3 days of rise. Okay. And obviously, since it broke this level here, it just reset, the market reset. Literally, this was like showing a two peak formation or two peak low. I don't have the two peak, I don't have the F in there. I just said peak low. So once it broke this side, obviously this confirms this is day 1, this is day 2. And then what's even better, it closed in breakout, right? And that's exactly what happened here. Thursday, so Monday, obviously, like I said, was the holiday. Let me just move this over real quickly. We can see Tuesday was the low. Wednesday did not do anything. Wednesday was an inside day. So we technically don't even count this day, guys. We just don't. This day doesn't even count. So we have our low, and then we have where it finally broke, right? So this is day 1, this is day 2, and then this is day 3, right? And so today, right, we close, Thursday closed in breakout. So we have day 1 longs. Okay. And then here we are on Friday. This is like your pullback. Basically, this is your pullback if this is telling me that the longs are in the market. But then the tricky thing happened today is now the shorts are back in, right? It broke the low and it closed in breakout. So not really sure what's going to happen here. It could perhaps do this number, because right now, obviously, this is your official setup for what a first red day would look like. But the idea behind the first red day, it still has to present. So this could totally, trigger, what would be trigger that area, right? That breakout level. It could do that and pump up, get to this area where I measured 50% of this range, right? I like to do that. This level could either, no, that wasn't very pretty now, was it? This level could literally, it can do the parabolic style trade up where the order flow is just climbing. You know what I mean? It could totally do that all the way to this level, right? The closing price. I just extended that out, guys. That's all I did, because this is a breakout. Well, I don't know if it's a breakout level, but well, maybe, I don't know. That's where we ended up being able to take our entry. I just don't want to call it a breakout level, because I'm going to call this a breakout level because it did break a daily low. All right, so it could totally come up here and use this area for resistance and then continue on down, right? So that's the idea, right? Because when price when the market opens, this is going to be the closing price down here, and it's going to be the closing price down here. And oftentimes we're looking for, maybe it triggers, the closing price area, and then it doesn't even make it to this level, right? Maybe it does that. But knowing what I often see is these things tend to go like that, right? And that's why I have these areas marked, because this could be, a short. It has to present the short, or perhaps it ends up breaking the high, which will be here, the previous day high. And then now this is going to change. We're going to be back long. So that is what the jury is still out. I'm going to wait to see what's going to happen there. Now, gold, to me, it looks a little bit more clearer, right? Because again, it did break both levels. And on my little chart here, we have the outside day, right? It closed back inside, which it did, right? So what I'm looking for here, the outside day that closes back inside, we're looking for entry from the low, right? Like a long, again, parabolic style trade setup. Okay. Now I didn't measure this one, but let me go ahead and do it. Take the high to right here. Okay. All right, so that's the area that we're working with. And this would be, I'm just adding this here just for giggles. I don't know, sometimes it could, but this area, this 50% area is pretty darn accurate, right? It's going to come up here and do one or the other, right? It's either going to do this or it's going to do that. So definitely looking to see which area is going to break, because on this day, the earlier sessions, they could totally go long unless this thing pushes out and then just all of a sudden just breaks down immediately, right? I don't know if that's going to happen, but if the high is broken, it means that we have a range extension there for the longs. And if that high is broken, then obviously this will be the green day, right? All right. Usually that's how parabolic trades end up, right? Like that. If the low is broken, right? Like I said, this is going to be the previous day low. And then here is the open price. So let's say, it opens here and then it comes to this level and then breaks the low. Then obviously we have a first red day and we're on to the shorts, right? But like I said, because we close and breakout, I'm going to wait to see. This could just be a pullback in the longer time frame, and it could just continue to go long. So we'll just wait and see how that plays out. But what I did want to show you is this is YM, the Dow, right? And you can see here we had like several day zeros last month, and you can see how when it breaks the level, right, both sides, and it has like a higher close, if you will, right? You have a higher close here. You can expect, some kind of a stop hunt high drop. And here's what I was talking about when you have an area where it breaks out both sides and it closes back inside. It didn't close and break out, it closed inside. You see how it just has this order flow going back up, right? So if it does go up and break the level, okay, and closes and breakout, then obviously we'll then have day two breakouts for gold, right? And here's where it was in breakout and it broke the high, and then the following day we had another day zero where it broke the low, and then it continued to break the inside day is the outside day continued to show up once more. And as you can see here, just like with gold, but this one had a slight, this thing did close out of balance slightly. As you can see, there's those two bars there. Now I always like to highlight them when I see that they did, so it just pops out. It did close out of in breakout, right? And so we have the same type of parabolic style trade, how it just, has that order flow up, has a sharp drop, and then boom, it goes back up again, right? So I wanted to show you that. And then I had another example with, where is it? Is this? Nope, that's not it. Oh, it's right in my face, guys. We had another one here. Here's an example with natural gas. So with natural gas, you can see we had an outside day on Tuesday. It broke the low and then it closed up. All right, closing breakout. We have longs on the market. And you see how on Wednesday, it did do a breakout fell, like a pullback, if you will. And I remember this clearly because this did show a 0 on the day, right? And then a 1. Okay. Because obviously when it happens, it shows up. And then, the next day is like at 5 o'clock, right? I'm still awake, but in Asia, it's early in the morning. So then it showed a 1 and it was a peak high, obviously, because, so far that's the truth, because it broke the high and then it broke the low. But then as the day progressed, this failed. We have this higher high on the inside and then it continued to do its thing, and boom, bada bing, we have another reset in the market here that I need to annotate with my little peak signals here, right? So there you have it, right? So it happens all the time. You just have to pay attention to it. And the dashboard is going to update in real time when these things happen. So don't like get set in a bias, right? That, oh, it's a peak high, day 0. I'm going to look for shorts tomorrow. You know what I mean? No, don't do that, right? Because guess what? When you look at it, because like I said, the dashboard is just computers, just following the rules that it will set, right? But we have to be smarter than the machine, and be able to decipher, okay, we did have the outside day here, and we do have, longs are in the market, right? And now here we go again, another day of longs in the market. Okay. So it has to prove to you, it has to continue to stay down here in order for this to be shorts, right? But all it did was do another reset. And that's why the market on the dashboard did reset here. Okay. So we're back here again, guys, with longs. So obviously Friday, for this particular market, did not really produce a great long trade. It wasn't anything like the other markets, guys, right? But nonetheless, this day, even though it just barely triggered, I often count this, even though it triggered it still triggered more longs in the market. So we're just going to wait to see, definitely what happens, because it looks like it barely closed, teeny weeny out of market in breakout, right? So we're just going to wait and see if this thing is going to, because what will happen on Monday? It will be day 3. So day 3, is the breakout going to fail or is it going to continue? We're not going to know until it gets here, because this will be the closing price level, right? Right next to the previous day high. They're very close. So market's either going to, do a higher high and go long, or it's going to break up and then go down, right? So those are the only 2 things that we are going to be considering, because today was a nothing day for this one. So we obviously hope that there's going to be something happening on Monday, which will be day 3. But yeah, I wanted to show you that. Here's another one where it broke both sides. And again, it closed inside, but it was like a higher close, right? So higher close, that's basically telling you that it went sideways. So when it goes sideways like that, you can see the lower lows on the inside. The earlier session can definitely short this market. And then here, I guess it's close to the end of the gap, right? Before New York and whatnot, it's already time for it to reverse, right? So on these type of markets, you don't ever want to you want to do it. Remember, it's just a session trade, okay? It's just a session trade until it breaks a major level. That's basically it. Okay. So those are a couple of examples, actually quite a few. I don't know if you need any more than that, but you can definitely go check these out on your own and you will see, right? But I wanted to highlight the differences here on the day 0, and then your this is your technically a first red day, right? But based on how it closed here, I'm just, I'm gonna be very cautious. They're very similar, but yet very different. All right. So hope you got some value here. And if you did, like the video, comment. And if you feel ever so grateful and just really want to just share the love, share it. Right. But I'll be so happy with a like and a comment. That would be great. That will definitely help with the other machine of the algorithm for YouTube. All right, guys. I want to keep it short today. I hope you guys had a great trading week. Looking forward to next week. We'll see you in the next one.